For those of you who don't know me, I'm Barbara. I am the past president. And I am here to introduce Connie Stewart. Connie was born in East Orange, New Jersey, and lived on the East Coast till she was 8, when she moved with her family to San Jose in the early 1970s. She comes from a family that's very passionate about the political process, and volunteering for local nonprofit causes was at the center of everyday lives. And in high school, she ran blood banks, food drives, and tutored children with one or more parents in jail. She moved to Arcata to attend Humboldt State University 35-ish years ago. Because we came here around the same time.
She can be 20-something-ish too.
35-ish, 30-plus-ish. She moved to Humboldt. Okay, she graduated in 1988 with a BA in speech communication, and after graduating, got a job at the North Coast Environmental Center. Anybody remember when she was there? Where she worked for 14 years until she was recruited by former Assemblywoman Patty Berg to work for the state legislature, covering one of the largest rural districts in the lower 48. She was elected to the Arcata City Council in 1996 and was re-elected in 2000 and served as mayor for 2 years. I'm guessing at this for the past 9 years you've been
2009.
Since 2009. Since 2009, she's been the executive director at the California Center for Rural Policy. And in case you don't know, I also work there, so Connie is my boss. During her time at CCRP, she has won numerous awards, and I am super proud of Connie. I'm super proud to work with her. And the award she's won since I have been there, that I've listed here: Nonprofit Leader of the Year, Humboldt Woman of the Year from Senator Michael McGuire, and most recently she was given the President's Award by RCRC, which stands for Rural County Representatives of California. It's a 35-member organization representing rural California. And she loves RCRC, and RCRC loves her. Her personal passions include paper crafting, cooking, gardening, and watching sports. I get to cook, watch sports, and craft with her. And she also loves football, and there was a piece on her bio that I'm supposed to say that I don't have, that she's the kind of woman a man would say she's always watching football.
No, you read it.
I don't have it.
I'll say it.
Okay, you say it. Please welcome Connie Stewart.
Yes, I'm single, and the reason I'm single is because the Knicks were in the playoffs, and I refused to go camping with my ex. Okay? I actually had a boyfriend say, "Honey, you never talk to me during halftime anymore." Okay, so how do I do this? There. Okay, so you had a whole year of Barbara being your president. You probably never understood what the heck she does for a living. And that would be okay, because even my dearest friends don't. And after this presentation, you still won't. But I'm going to give her a try in 20 minutes. We were founded in 2005. And we conduct research to inform policy, build community, promote health and well-being of rural people in the environment. And what happened was basically Herman Spetzler, Peter Pennycamp, and a bunch of other, Ann Lindsay, and a few other health professionals were complaining about the state's data about rural communities, in particular ours. And they said, the data's always wrong, the data's always wrong. It's created by UCLA, and it's not their fault. They're doing it for the entire state. But their samples are so small from our community. To give you an example, in order to determine whether kids are healthy, in Del Norte County, they call 17 families. Okay, that's all. And that determines, randomly calling 17 families determines what the health of the community is. Statistically, that's fine, but not, if you live here, that's not good enough. And so they went down to the California Endowment and said, give us money, we want to put a center at Humboldt State University that can do rural research for rural people. And that's our story. And since we've been founded by the help of the California Endowment and the Wellness Foundation, we have received over 110 grants in the past 10 years. So we're pretty active. Grants and contracts are our business. Most of our money now comes probably just from contracts around the region. We're about half funded, half half funded by grants and half funded by contracts, maybe even more than that. So here's our current projects, and this is the slide I'm going to spend most of our time on. We do a lot of evaluation projects. So other entities that get grants, we do the evaluation for how well they were responding or what they accomplished in their grants. We have Barbara, who's, the reason she's not around a lot is because she's working in Delaware County on health career pathways. So she's trying to work with the health industry and the CR and also the high school to build pathways for students to get careers in healthcare. And I'm doing that in Humboldt County. And my job also for the university is to try to bring back the Bachelor's of Nursing program here. We'll be hearing more about that in a couple of months. So we also work on broadband deployment with Greg Foster, who, that's probably why he got up and came up here. Greg has been an incredible partner, and I guess in 2009, we came up with this brilliant idea. How are we going to build broadband? And it was, we're going to call Greg and Tina Narrett and get them to work with us. And so Greg and I have been partners. Greg and Patrick Clary were the ones that figured out how to talk to PG&E about the Highway 36. They got route diversity for everyone but AT&T into the community. Right now we're working on a pathway across Highway 299, and we've gotten about $47.5 million and are very close to raising the remaining funds to get a big pipeline across Highway 299. And we're also working on a cable landing, which means we'll have a cable coming across from, I think it's from China, to land in Humboldt County and go across and ultimately, hopefully, end up in Chicago. So anyway, that's a big effort there. I talked a little bit about the evaluations. We work closely with 9 tribes in the region on projects with United Indian Health Services on improving health on tribal lands. Really fun work I get to do. Oral health, children's oral health is a big issue. We've got Dawn Alsbury. Why did because I'm at Rotary, I thought of Dawn. Dawn Aldridge in our office, and she does children's oral health work most of the day. The county has gotten a big grant to work on alleviating our problems in the county on children's oral health, and they have a small contract to work on adult oral health too. So we're working on strategic planning around that. I'm going to skip cannabis. You've heard enough about that. And we also have a project very near and dear to my heart, pre- and postnatal substance abuse disorder. Between 1 in 4 and 1 in 5 kids are being born with some substance in their system now. And that's not acceptable. We've got to get that number down. And so we're really working on making sure when a pregnant woman comes into a clinic for her prenatal care, if she's got a substance use problem, the clinic knows where to send her. She can get services. She'll be prioritized. Open Door Clinic is doing the Suboxone program. We're spreading that and getting more doctors who know how to help treat women who are pregnant because, we got to do it. Anyway, then we're doing a lot of evaluation of the diversity inclusion work that's happening in the community, and we've got this great project which we just finished around talking to the Latino community about what their health and wellness needs are, and we'll be releasing that data really soon. So you may have gotten in your P.O. box recently a survey from us as well. We're working with the county on updating their economic development strategy plan. And last time we went around, we talked to a few business leaders, and there were great things that we worked on broadband and other things that came up. But things like housing didn't come up in the last strategic economic development plan. And healthcare didn't come up in the last strategic economic development plan. So we thought, and what do business folks talk a lot? Gosh, actually. Housing up here, it's hard for people to move here and get a house. We're struggling with that, and healthcare, access to healthcare, it keeps coming up. And you know, substance abuse and what's going on in our downtown areas didn't come up either. So this time we still are talking to business leaders, but we thought, let's go out to the entire community and see what the economic development needs are. So if you've got a survey, a little envelope from us in your box, please fill it out and tell us what you think about healthcare and economic development in our community. And we'll be releasing that data, and the county will be releasing the economic development strategy plan later this summer. So, any quick questions? That's the, I'm going to need Dustin to come up here and switch to the next PowerPoint. Food pantry. Oh, food. We work. The food bank's about to go out to do a capital campaign, and you could talk more about that. And so every few years we do a survey of every community pantry to determine community pantry needs and the needs of their clients. And you know what is most interesting and what's come up is how many folks that are in our food pantry say they are able and willing to work, and they just have not made connections to jobs here. So there is an opportunity to link clients who are socially, and a lot of the food bank people are in between jobs. You know, they're not living on the food bank's for generosity forever. They're having tough times, and they really need a little help. So we're going to work on trying to connect the food pantry to those Sequoia and others to get them. I just thought, how much time do I have? I have 5 minutes? Okay. I just thought, you know, you can talk about data and what we do, but let me show you something that might be interested in you. So I'm going to show you a few school slides here. And what I want you to know from this slide is that the demographics of our adults in the community are quite different than the demographics of children. And also the poverty rate in the overall community and the poverty rate at our schools. Dave, I know you can talk more about this too. But that's the purpose of looking at this. You know, occasionally we're talking about people who don't understand the poverty in this community, and you know, basically, you know, having kids and being able to have a full-time job is a struggle in our community. It's childcare options and other options that are making it so that we have a lot of poverty. A lot of our kids are in poverty. In Arcata, so the community is about 81% white, but the school districts are quite different. And the poverty rate, don't pay attention to this. HSU students getting in here. The poverty rate in Arcata is closer to about 18%. And free and reduced lunch is almost half of kids. So Eureka, poverty rate about 24-25%, free and reduced lunch 63% of our kids. You know, I know how much great work this club has done, but you know, that's really what the need. You know, I was bummed. You guys were so cheerful, and then I show my data. I can kill anybody. If you need to kick people out of your house, just call me. I'll come over with you. So overall, here's our. I mean, you know, if this slide says, if you're, what this slide essentially says is, if you're married and you got kids, you're doing okay. If you're not married and you don't have kids, and you have kids, you're not doing okay. So, you know, single women with kids, with children under 5, 42% poverty rate. I'm going to show you a few slides I'm borrowing from Randy that I think are amazing, but then talk about the housing shortage up here. I know our city council member here has a big project that's coming to him, which could really help Arcata with housing shortage issues. And I'm hoping that it will pass. There's my lobbying. I know that you don't lobby there. This is percentage of monthly income of existing homeowners with a mortgage. This is a slide in our community of how much people are paying of their salaries to their mortgage. What you want is 30%. So every single community, we have folks who are paying more of their monthly income than they should. You could talk more about that slide too. That's homeowners. Here's renters. Here's the median rent income in Arcata is about $8.99. Actually, Arcata is cheaper than McKinleyville and Redwood. Here's the percentage of monthly income of our renters. Look at how 74%. So remember, we want this to be 30. So what's going on with renters? Redway? No. Cannabis. It's really expensive to live in Willow Creek and Redway. Yeah.
Try to find a place in Redwood.
It's impossible. So anyway, see, I'm a bummer. But anyway, what?
No, you're not. You're a
Conversation starter.
I'm a conversation starter. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a little sample of the kind of stuff we're paying attention to in our communities, and we do this for all 35 communities. And of course, I have a joke. You know, how many of you have known me since I had pigtails and you know? So you get paid more as you go further away from your home base. So, but we do a lot of data information for everyone around the region and around the state, and it's my honor to be able to do this work because it's really fun. And our purpose is really to provide folks data that they can react to and that they can work on changing the situations in their community. So, thanks for allowing me to come.
Open it up for questions.
Well, first of all, I'm going to invite you to dinner with my husband because he thinks I'm depressing to talk I'm going to go away. But seriously, where do we start as individuals? What do we, we vote and give money, but what do we do?
Well, I think, I think that, let me say a few helpful things. Our unemployment rate is lower than the state's unemployment rate right now. We got jobs. We have to have people pass drug tests. That's really where the focus has got to be. And we're really trying to work with Chris Hartley and others to get health career pathways into the schools again, so kids know that there's other opportunities and that there's other things that they can do besides just go work in the cannabis industry. I have nothing against the cannabis industry, but there are a lot of other alternatives. There are a lot of us who need employees that aren't in that industry. So we need to, have a diverse, robust economic stream here. We're doing some great stuff. But we still have, I say we have a tale of two cities here. We have people that are really succeeding, and then we have people that really aren't. And we have the same disparity as Orange County, believe it or not, in Humboldt County. And so that's a little shocking. So we have historic trauma, and when I say historic trauma, people immediately go to people my color, but that's not true. We have white people who have historic trauma here in our community too. Maybe they worked in the timber industry and they haven't, made the turn. I have this new joke I say at work. White people need to go back to church because there is a lack of networking. I mean, this is your network, right? These are your mentors. But there's a lack of networking and mentoring for a lot of our young folks. And they need, when something happens, we did these amazing focus groups a while back. St. Joe's hired us to do focus groups. And it was interesting because it was like, one thing throws your life off course, and nobody's there to pick you up. And if nobody's there to pick you up, your life spirals down. And so mentoring programs, big brothers, big sisters, other mentoring programs, so somebody's there to catch our families. I keep saying that's our major problem. Social cohesion is our major problem. I mean, how many of us have had that and been picked up immediately by people? And some for me, some of the people in this room, you know, I'll never forget Bob painting the NEC with me, just, after the fire. So, just the two of us painting walls together, sorry, get emotional. So, but how important that is. And not everybody in our community has that. That's really, I think, one of the key solutions to the future. Here. So, yeah.
I don't know if it's still true, but at one point, there were more nonprofits per capita in Humboldt County. From your perspective, how are we doing on reinventing the wheel every funding cycle?
Very good. God, we are so good at forming, aren't we? We are, we will form around, you know what I think really I'm doing a lot of soul searching, is we are starting to do initiatives where we name after a problem, right? So let's get together because we have a housing shortage, let's get together. We don't name after the solution. And if you name after the solution, so what I say is an amazing thing happened when the city of Eureka hired a consultant, right, to deal with homelessness, right? What happened was they changed the narrative from how do you enable homelessness to how do you end homelessness? And that brought the community together, and people who hadn't had housing for 17 years got keys. And containers went up, and all sorts of alternative housing solutions were, because the dialogue changed from how do we just enable people to how do we end this. And so I think part of it is our initiatives need to be named after solutions. Greg and I, broadband for all. Do it or we'll do it for free, right? That's our slogan, right? And everybody, it doesn't matter, you may have never come to our meetings, but if somebody walked over to you and said, what about broadband? Everyone in this community would know exactly what the goal and the mission is, right? So we need to do more of that and less just coming together because there's a problem. That makes sense? Yeah. If we have a solution, if we have the North Star, we always have the resources to fix things. I mean, that's the way it works. So, thanks for asking that. Go ahead.
I just had a quick question. The study that you showed us just a little bit ago, that and other studies are also on your website?
Yeah, on our website. And we're going to launch a new website. Our website is, right now, it's a little too much. We did this. And we're going to try to have a we're doing this website. So stay tuned into March. We're going to have a new launch of a website. So
cool.
Any others? Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks, everybody.